Oh, okay, let's start. So just a recap, this is the new CMS and we will be having configurable things in the dashboard itself, right? So we will have a configurable image, logo will be customized to the client, message which we can send. In fact, this message can be exposed to the client also. Client can give a message which he wants to display to anyone who wants to log in, right? And all these things can be accessible. Now, similar to our thing, we log in into CMS. The biggest difference between our old CMS and new CMS is we have URLs in the system now, right? Each page which we go to will have a separate URL, so clients can approach to us with a different URL that there is a problem here, and then we can debug accordingly, right? And unlike our previous CMS, this CMS has a proper documentation available at the start itself. So you can go to docs.hocalwire ENCM manual, CMS manual. Under this, each of the tabs which you see here, which all tabs are here, corresponding to that you will have a tab here also, and what is there in that particular tab will be visible here as well, right? So each tab here which is there, like for example, you go into editorial, you have 5 tabs there. Similarly, if you go here, you will see 5 tabs here also, right? So every tab will be there, and if something is missed out, we will eventually add that as well. So the CMS manual will keep getting updated as and when we develop our CMS also, right? So from an end user perspective, at any point of time, he has reference material to go and check and see on his own what is to be done on a client side, on the CMS side. Now coming back, we are actually going to start telling about the major areas in the CMS right now, right? So first thing is ease of use in terms of, so we have URL first, second is ease of use in terms of searching the tab. At any point of time, you just know to know where to search, which tab to search. You just type it here and it will go to the corresponding tab directly under here. Like if your tags, it will go here. Now for example, you want to get into ad management, you just type ad and then go to ad management. It will automatically go to ad management and show the corresponding page. So this is the ease of use of the second data. Now third part of this particular thing is, as usual, we have our regular my profile page, my notes, all those things are there. Eventually we will be making more value in the my page also, where we will start showing the favorite details and all those things will come in your my page itself as configurable things. But this profile page is also already available for every CMS user, right? Soon you will be seeing my favorites and couple of customizations which you can do in CMS here as well. Now these are the main 3 aspects, and this is more mobile responsive, mobile friendly. We have tried to be more contemporary in our design. So you have icons and displays for each of this thing, and it is mobile responsive also, right? Ideally suited for desktop, but it is mobile responsive as well. So you can access the same in your mobile also, and it should be looking decent in mobile as well. Unlike our current CMS, which is not so mobile friendly. Right, so this is how our CMS is going to be going forward. Now, next stop is we are going to start looking at each of these tabs. Anyone has any basic doubts before I move into the tabs? Any basic concerns, issues? Okay. So let me go into the new thing. The first thing is my dashboard. So this is a configurable dashboard. This is in alignment with what Hocalwire professes as what we do, right? So we have 5 different stages. Here we can disable and enable whichever stage we are wanting to create. So in this we are not having gathering stage. So we are just showing the create report. So all these things are configurable. As we develop, we can actually show in main numbers which the publishers or the editorial heads have to see before going into a story. So these are all configurable buttons with values, right? Real time will refresh, and then we have a filter here. Last 1 hour what does the dashboard look like? What 12 hour how was this? 24 hour or 1 week? So this can be configurable per user, but essentially numbers which the team wants to see can be configured here and given as a proper dashboard. Next is a my favorites tab. Right now we are sticking to just create story, but eventually we will have option for individual users to keep the most used tabs here. They can configure it and keep it here, right? So this is just a linking to the most active events. This is the favorite tabs. Then comes the my work tab, which is similar to our current system. We will have my projects, my stories, then you have my analytics, and my change logs. 4 tabs are there, which is similar to current CMS also. This will be work which is associated to things which are, why we are giving it, take this and keep it outside. It's okay, do it later. Take it, remove it right now. We are in the middle of a discussion, don't disturb. Okay, so my projects is similar to how we have this thing. So based on the client's requirement, we can enable and disable these things also. So how many of you know what my projects are? I think none of the support team knows what my projects is, right? Okay.
प्रोजेक्ट मींस जो किसी को असाइन किए हुए हैं प्रोजेक्ट.
So when Hocalwire started, we had this concept of a project, right? A project is just an empty shell holder, right? We had something called a topic under which there will be projects. So for example, see today we have say World Cup is happening, right? World Cup can be a topic. Under that there can be a India-Pakistan match, which is a project. Then we can talk about the commentary from Harsha Bogle's separate project. So each project will have one news associated to it. So project is an empty placeholder for a story, and a story becomes a news. That is how we were thought about it. So projects is more from a planned perspective. If a newsroom wants to do planning, they can go into projects view and then start planning that these are the 10 topics I'm going to cover today. And the project can be associated to someone who will then work it on a story and then develop the story into a news. So that is a concept of a project, right? But most of our clients don't use projects. They just create stories directly, which are ideally supposed to be under projects, right? Anyway, so after my favorite, which is your favorite links, it gives you my work, which is essentially work which is associated to you. Your projects, your stories, your analytics, all those things will be associated in my work. So we'll revisit this towards the end. Now comes the first part. So if you actually see, Hocalwire actually has 6 processes when we talk to any client. When we sell our CMS also, we talk about 6 processes. First process is called monitoring, right? Second process is called gathering, right? Third process is called creating. Fourth is called distribution, right? Fifth is monetization. Sixth is analytics. Our tabs are also going to reflect that mostly, right? So first is monitoring. Under monitoring, we have reporter module. If there is later on, if someone has citizen journalism, UGC, all those things which are corresponding to monitoring things out there will come under monitoring section, right? Then comes the editorial. Under editorial section, there are 2 things. Whatever you monitor from here, gather that will come into newsroom, which is our gather module. And editorial, rest of the things in editorial is our create module, right? So monitoring happens. In that you'll have reporter, stories, all those things monitoring. Then it comes into gather, which is the newsroom, and creation of content, which will happen in editorial. So monitor and editorial are covered here. Next we talk about distribution. So publishing the news from here goes into news tab, which is the distribution. Distribution also talks about SEO and social media, right? So that is the next logical tab, distribution. Then we have ads, monetization, which will come under monetization separately, right? These 2 are system related administration tasks. SEO, tags, trending tags, what to keep what, all those things. So that is how we have configured our entire database. Now you will see there's also an audience section where we are actually planning to build like analytics about who the users are, what they read, all those audiences we are eventually going to build. Right now it is just a placeholder, but we will be building this also. Analytics ke under there will be a audience section also, which is very lot of clients are asking. We are making some efforts to make that as well, right? Apart from all these tabs, you also have other external modules, which are our one-time modules which we give to people. Cricket module, election module, like e-paper module, all those modules. Subscription will come under monetization. Subscription will be monetization, and ad management will be monetization, right? So other modules are anything which is outside of this system, like e-paper, cricket module, which is our one-time separate module, separate cost, like that thing will come under other modules. We are having some plans for like ads management, ad booking, all those things and all. Everything will come under other modules. Last but not the least, you will have a link to our solution articles, which is going to sing. We will also link it to our docs thing, and then we'll link it to our tickets also, right? Under other modules, you'll see there's one more tab called integrations. Integrations right now is back, but we'll start seeing Isoto integrations, GA integrations. All those documentations will be here available readily, so the client can also do, and then we'll also know that these are the external integrations which are happening with the client, right? So this is the kind of basic organization we have done with the entire setup. Now, any questions at this point of time? Anyone feel something is missing or something is too much?
Sir, additional जो integration है जैसे GA और सर्च कंसोल, so अगर कुछ issue आता है सर्च कंसोल में तो वो इसमें reflect होगा या नहीं होगा?
No, external things right now we are not doing, but there are certain things which we are planning to do if an automation exists. Like for example, certain APIs if we are able to get from Google Search Console and we are able to trigger actions to the client, we will be showing it here. There is one more module which we are actually doing with Allah, right, which is actually talking about site health like that on real-time basis. We will be getting that also under other integrations. So there will be a dashboard for every client which talks about SEO health and all those things.
So means कोई सा भी notification इसके अंदर store नहीं होगा?
Right now, no. Right now, this is purely a functional thing with basic analytics, replication of the existing system. Couple of add-ons like these things and all will be coming in future.
Just like हमारे previous CMS में एक notification panel हुआ करता था.
Here also there is notification. No, you will have notifications here. There will be a bell icon which comes here. It's hidden now. If there is a notification, you will get notification also. Right? Okay. So now we will get into each individual tabs. First, let me go into, so these three we'll skip for now. We'll go to monitoring. So this is your reporter module. Same like how we have assigned stories and reporter module in the current system, you'll have the reporter list coming here. There is no dummy data, I think, in this particular system for reporter, so we are not having anything. This will be covered separately. We will have a separate session for reporter module because it's not a standard feature, right? Typically, newsroom also comes along with other modules only, right? It comes with the reporter module, but some clients also use content ingestion through API in newsroom, right? So your content will come here for that. And if you see the navigation, you will also see the date filters are there, and then you have a week filter, month filter, year filter. Easy navigation is there. You can search everything or just the reporter name, or you can go to a specific team name or district location name and then search that also. Right? See, these options are there, and you can search by agency. So these search filter can be specific to that, or we can actually have a date filter, time filter. Now you will also see along with this, you will also have different views. So there will be, this is a standard card view. Then we have a list view. Then there's supposed to be a list view which is not here, but eventually there will be a list view also. We'll show you in other screens. Wherever it's available, it will be available. You will have multiple screen view types, right? So this is a Pinterest kind of card view and this thing. And on each card you will have multiple actions. There will be two sets of, so there will be status notifications like this, and then you will have actions happening under a button, right? Each card will have a multiple actions, right? Similarly, if you go into this view also, you will have the same kind of a thought process. You will have share buttons and then outright actions and then other actions which you can go and then do on a particular news or a feed, right? Next comes the most important part, which is your stories tab, right? So here you will see same kind of a filters, date, year is there, all these things, and then you have three views here. So the last view is the table view, which is what most people generally use, right? And once you keep this as a table view, next time you come, it will always come as table view. So it has a cookie based approach, so it will know what is your preferred view, right? So this is a standard view you have, media. This is similar to what our news old CMS is. You have a story ID and then corresponding media, heading, what is the status, date created, who's the creator, who's the reviewer, all those things, and corresponding actions for the story, right? If you are comfortable with grid view, you can also shift to grid view, same thing. Edit, main options are there, status is there, ID of the story is there, and then you have the basic, who's the author, what is the details of the story, all those things are come. What is the name of the story, who's the author of the story. If anyone is working, obviously you will have things like this, which is currently there in our system also. So you will see both the thing happening, working function, unlock lock function, everything is similar to our current system, right? Now, let us go and start creating a story, right? So again, you can access story creation from your my favorites also, or you can come to stories and then click a create story button. Now to create story, now this is the new navigation format we have done. We have a configurable six-step approach to publishing a story, right? We have actually configured, so all these things are configurable, right? So collapsible and configurable. So we have identified these are the standard 6 steps for creating a story, and we have created tabs for this. Each tab can be accessed like this, or we can also access this by clicking here, right? So if it is open by default, everything will be everything except social media will be open, but again everything is configurable based on an individual client's need. If a client says no, I just want to be closed by default, we can close it or we can increase it. And these stages also we can configure based on client. That is how flexible our system is. So if some client comes and tells no, I want 7 different steps, we can also configure 7 different steps. 5 different steps, like that also we can configure. So all these things are configurable according to layout design the client requires, right? And accessibility is also similarly like that. It will go to the stage, it will go to the media stage. I have no clue why it is not going, but ideally it should go. So it will go to the media stage, SEO, story, social, and publish option. Now if you see, the biggest advantage is here. I just have to refresh the URL again. It will load the same story. Previously you will never, if you refresh, it's gone in our current CMS. In our new CMS, if the URL is there, you can go and pick it back from the place we left, right? So that availability is there with us, right? Now third thing, if you see, is when I move, you see the color changing to red. This means a mandatory field in this particular area is not filled, right? So if it is green, it means you are good to go. Nothing is mandatory here. Everything is already filled. Everything is fine, right? So these also triggered by mandatory, whether it's mandatory or not. For a client, if you tell tag is mandatory, then this will become red if they close without doing this, right? So, and then blue is the color in which you are working right now, right? Now similarly, you can start typing. So rest all, I think the way we work only, we start typing in, we start giving recommendations based on SEO. What is the recommended size? The recommended size of the title is given in the top of the field, right? So we do that, and then subtitle, as we give subtitle, it will also give subtitle. Recommendations will be given. URL, you can do URL, recommendations will be given. English title, in case you don't have a proper title for, if you have a native language, we also ask for an English title, right? Then location comes. Now this location can be configured either as a basic thing, or it can be coming under category. It's all configurable, right? Just that this client wanted location to be captured initially only, so we are configured like this. But anything can be moved anywhere in our system and clubbed together. So the control is with the client. Client can ask, no, I want it to be this way, we can change it and give it to them, right? So that is how flexible the new CMS is, right? So we select the location, and then we give the main category, we give the secondary categories. Then comes the media part. Media part, similarly, we can actually select from our library any old content we can. And here we have also come up with new 2 things. One feature which we have started doing focal points and ratios. So many clients want different ratios, 5:3, 19:2, everything should look good. So what we have done is we have started showing ratios here. How will this, so it is not cropping right now, but ideally it should show 5:3, 14:2, it should ideally reset and show in this stage how much it will look. It will show 19:16:100, I think. I'll show you a demo where this works. Ideas, essentially we will be able to give focal point for a client. Okay, so if I give the focal point as this point, and then if you add that focal point and save, it will regenerate all these 6 different ratios, which is essentially it will start showing different images with this as the focal point of the image. So this actually is easy when we start using different images in different sections of the website, right? And individual images can be reset. So this can be reset, and then we can upload a different image for this guy altogether. So in 16:9 it will show a different image, on other places it will show a different image. That kind of cover images can be done, right? So this is media. Now certain clients like Federal, for example, so if I go to production server of Federal, you will see the stories layout is a bit different, right? So this is configured based on the client need, right? So client wants extra assets called audio file. For example, they have a text to speech content. So we can actually have a audio file upload separately, automatic audio creation and all will be there. And then we can actually have byline credit system, SEO credit systems, all those things will be there. Like we can have multiple credits. We can have all the other features which are similar to this thing. We can start having the same thing, right? Then another thing which we will want to see is how social media works, right? So when we upload an image, and I think these guys, images also is not there. So if I upload an image, let me take a screenshot. Hopefully it will not upload because server is not configured. Here we will tell. Okay, so once a cover image is added here in our content, then we go to social media block, right? It starts getting the social media content directly from there, right? Cover images and things similarly, and the card layout you have changed it to reflect to closely to how the website should actually look, right? So this is how we have configured this, and same thing which is there in the current system will in Twitter how it will go, Facebook how it will go, all those social media pages, all those things are there here also. Then similar to our content, so same editor is there still. We can have all our editor content, add smart tools, and then we have HTML block, all those things are there. Similar to how our current system works, everything is there, right? Then you have publishing options in which you have all the publishing options. One more feature which we have introduced is now we have internal comments, right? This is internal team comments. So if 3 people are working on a story, I can just go and leave. Eventually you want to do a kind of a thing, but right now we can just tell like whom do you want to leave a comment on. Okay, please see to this story, like that we can give a comment, and then we can actually start adding comments to people. So internally inside Hocalwire or inside the particular newsroom, we will have people who are actually having comments to each other, right? So this will be there, and then obviously we have the functions which are there. You have preview button, save button, schedule for letter, submit for review, publish option. Similar to our current system, based on permissions, we can hide and show whatever we want to do, right? So this is our main thing, and the main functions are also there on the top, just for ease of use, right? Preview, this thing, everything is there on the top also, right? Same thing, one second. You can do it in your mobile also, right? It will be coming in the mobile as well. Okay, so this is your create story screen, which is the most importantly used screen here for every person. Okay. Now you have any question, Aman?
Sir, social में Facebook और Twitter only configuration. Additionally, जैसे LinkedIn होता है, LinkedIn को भी Telegram.
So
same creation model के अंदर उसको configure कर सकते हैं.
So right now we are showing only 2 platforms here, but the same content will go to all the platforms. For representation purpose, we are showing only 2 platforms because in Twitter we can give extra mention rate something we can give to Twitter alone. So for Twitter alone we are capturing that extra. Otherwise, whatever we show in social Facebook is what we go to every social media platform.
So ये direct creation module के through वहीं पे जा सकता है या फिर कोई additional से configuration?
So for social media to work, you have to configure separately once. One time setup is required. After that, it will regularly go after that.
और automation भी enable हो सकता है इसमें?
Automation is there, support is there. So this is your create story bucket, and obviously when I go into a story ID, I'll be able to see the change logs, what all happened, all those save logs, everything is there for every story also, right? Who edited, what edited, all those things, there are story details. And once a story is published, obviously you'll start everything in the news tab. Same data is here, and if I click that particular news, it can also go into the details, and here also we have the story logs. What are the logs which are there in the particular story and what is in this particular news, right? So this is what we are already having, right? So similar to current system, you have couple of actions after you publish. You can again see it in grid view or normal view, table view, and then you can take an action on this. And grid view, again you have actions like this. What all actions you can do: preview, add, send notification, and then there are much more content which is hidden under this particular thing, right? So this is your newsroom, stories, Buzz is your live blog. Then you have news, which is corresponding to current system, right? Buzz also has the same concept. You can go and start creating buzz against a particular news, and then it will start showing all the buzz in one particular place, right? So you have a create buzz here, show buzz, go to buzz, and then you can start creating add buzz for that particular thing. Buzz is actually our live blog, right? So this is your thing. Then you have your AMP stories, exactly same thing. We have just replicated the module. Right now, not much difference here. You just first create a story here, URL, then you have your SEO title, all this data you give, and then you can select anything from your library, and then you have save. So initial thing, and then you can start adding slides into this particular content, right? So you can go into the story and start adding slides. So I think not many is configured right now, so we can actually add slides, and then same to how we do right now. We just add the particular value and then preview the slide. If you give image also, you can add image, or you can take image from library, crop it to the required size exactly, and preview slide. Not working with this, and you can actually publish. So same features which are there in the current system, same thing will be there here also. Okay. Then you have custom contents. If a client has custom content, then we can actually do this is specific to each client, depends on what a client needs, and then this will come under custom content. Right, so this is not you will not find documentation for custom content. It is client specific, right? Then you have news flags and this thing, which I am also not sure why this is showing up here. It should ideally be hidden here. It should not be showing here. Okay. Then we have SEO tab and social media tab, right? Social tab, SEO tab mein whatever we see in your current web app configurations will start coming here. Your home page SEO setup, photo story SEO setup, header body scripts, category SEO, all those content will come here. Content SEO will come in this. We can go to individual space, custom content ka SEO we can do here. Redirect URL similar to our current system, wherever you want to do redirects, right? Then obviously you have your feed lists, different feed lists which are generating, robots and ad doc state. So everything is organized under SEO now, right? And then you have your bulk tagging of content and keyword, so same thing will be coming here also. And then you have your H rules in social media, which is for your social media automation. You can authenticate your handles similar to our current system. We can authenticate all these handles and then set up H rules to start publishing content automatically, right? Then you have your web app configurations, where you got your promoted news, which is about individual category mein you want to promote a specific news. Then you have mixing news, where in a specific place in home page you want to fix a particular news. You can do that based on which place you want to do. You can select that particular mixing and then fix that particular content, which place has to show which content, right? Then you have tags, which is your tag library. You can edit each tag and then add more information with respect to the tag, and then create nice tag landing pages also, right? Then apart from that, you have trending tags, which is configurations based on certain clients. You will have the top trending tag section. You have menu builder, which is going to be very easy for you guys going forward. So this is how our menu builders will have all the types of menus similar to this thing, but the option of putting menu is changed, right? Now if you want to configure desktop menu, all you have to, you can either upload Excel or you can add a new component here, right? So if I have to add something here, I just add new component in desktop menu. You can just tell new component. You can keep adding how many ever components you want, right? And this can be nested, so you can just drag and then you can actually tell go both thing, or you can actually add a child component for this. And each component you can actually tell display name. What is the display name going to be, right? You can type any language here, display name, what is the type category, what is the URL, or select a category if you want to send it to a specific category. It will automatically sell the URL. So this is now so easy that the client can do themselves only. You just have to tell them this is where you go, and they can play around with this whenever they want. They just want to remove, they can remove directly here, right? Or you can add a menu here itself. And then once you are done with everything, you can save the order. right? So it has become pretty easy. I think the save should go to the previous slide, but yeah, some couple of changes will be there, but overall this is making your life very easy from respect to configurations of menus for clients, right? You have all the standard menu bars, and then you can actually select which menu you want to build and start building that menu the way you want, right? So all these values will start coming up as it is. Then we have static pages and forms. Similar to our current system, static pages, you can create as many static pages as you want, and forms, similar to current system, we have form building capabilities also for collecting data. Then you have system management. Under system management, first thing which you have is categories. Collections is not visible here, but we'll enable collections also here. Categories and collections will come, which will be there here. Then you have user management. Again, you have user groups. Similar to current system, you will have permissions, CMS logins, and public users. All those things will be there, and in CMS users you can go and start changing users for each client. We are trying to organize this a bit. Eventually it will get more organized, but right now it is a laundry list of all the permissions which we can give for a particular user, right? Then you have locations library, which will talk about your location library. And one thing which we have given is we have given standard import options for a lot of these places, right? So if you given a standard format, you can add bulk addition of content to this thing. So that option has been given to most of the thing. Like it will be a way in which they can add more on their own without coming to us for everything. Then obviously you have an image and video library where you can see all your content bucketed under different groups which we have. It will be always visible here, and then we can reuse this whenever needed, right? Then you have a file library where we have already created current folder structures, and then you can go into a particular folder structure and they can drop files directly, right? Addition is, I think, still not a concern. We can actually add content into here, create a folder or document, and then drop value into this thing. Once you drop a content into this particular thing, you can access that wherever you want. So basically like a basic file management system. Partner configurations, wherever you are enabling partner configurations for the client, it will show up here. Then obviously you have your recycle business system management. Then comes your monetization. So both your subscription block and ad management is coming under this. Whatever is there in your current subscription block comes over here also. So we'll make a separate video for subscription and monetization, which is not needed for a lot of you people, but this is where your subscription modules and ad management is. Obviously analytics, right now we have H analytics one tab, and we have put some standard thing, and then we'll also have custom tabs where we get custom analytics to clients, right? This is there. Audience, as I said, is a thing in development, it will come eventually. These modules are separate, right? Standard modules which are there here. So this is a very quick overview of what's happening in our system. Any questions, anyone?
So
Okay.
what is the difference between promoted news और mixing news? Priority किसकी first होती है?
जैसे कि एक कैटेगरी है और उस कैटेगरी में 5 न्यूज़ है, अगर आप किसी को प्रमोट करना है उसकी प्रायोरिटी आपको पता है, मतलब कंटेंट राइटर को पता रहता है।
मैंने promoted news का भी यूज़ करा है, mixing news का भी यूज़ करा है।
दोनों
Same time पे एक ही ब्लॉग के लिए मैंने promoted news भी यूज़ करा है, mixing news भी यूज़ करा है। सिस्टम किसको पहले प्रेफरेंस देगा?
प्रमोटेड न्यूज़ को देखा सर?
No, unless there are two different things you are talking about. There are, let us go into expectation wise, this was supposed to happen, but I'm not sure how implementation is. Now let us assume this is the section. This entire 6 news is, say, let us say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are one section, one mixing, right? Now let us assume we load a category called international here, these 6 news. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are there, international, right? Now if I go and tell promoted news, I change the order. Now I change this news to be the first news. Then this will become 1, 2, this will all go 1 down, right? That is how this promoted news works. If you keep changing the order, it will change the order in which the story loads. Mixing news, what happens is, it will not change the order. It will tell this particular location is fixed for this news. The rest all will change.
But प्रमोटेड न्यूज़ पे थर्ड पोजीशन के लिए प्रमोटेड न्यूज़ में मैंने एक न्यूज़ को स्टिकी करा है प्रमोटेड न्यूज़ में, और मिक्सिंग न्यूज़ में मैंने थर्ड पोजीशन पे करा है, तो मिक्सिंग न्यूज़ वाला आर्टिकल आएगा या फिर प्रमोटेड न्यूज़ वाला आर्टिकल आएगा?
1, 2 will come, then third. Ideally, it should be mixing which should take precedence. Mixing is the first one which should load. After that, it should load the rest of the stories in order. That is what was told to me, but I'm not sure whether if there's a conflict, what happens.
But sir, priority की बात है ना?
Priority, that's what. No, first it will go and fix this spot to the guy who is given in mixing news. That is what it will first do. Mixing is fixed. Then it will load every other news in that order which is given. That was what is supposed to happen.
The first priority.
It will go and fix the mixing,
Mix it
and then it will go. That is what supposed to happen. Just cross verify with Suresh once.
ठीक है।
But actually में भी ऐसा हो नहीं रहा है शायद।
ऐसे ही चलना चाहिए।
चलना चाहिए but ऐसा अभी हो नहीं रहा।
ऐसे ही तो होता है, तभी तो मिक्सिंग उसको क्लियर करते हैं, तभी तो होता है ऊपर चलाने के लिए।
ठीक है? Any questions? Anyone else? ठीक है? Okay.
लॉगिन में परमिशंस का मेरे को बहुत ज़्यादा इश्यूज आते हैं।
Huh? We need to work on that. There's a huge list of permissions. We need to make some sense out of it. Even clients are like, I was showing demo to Federal, they were like afraid. No permission, what will we do? So we need to club it, and then we have to remove certain things. See, there is a positive permission and negative permission. For example, there is a allowed to publish news, then there is a disabled to publish news. So if allow is already negative of that is disabled already, right? So I don't know.
उसको
Let's
ऐसे
see.
डिजाइन कर सकते हैं ना, इट्स लाइक कि ऐड अगर ऐड मैनेजमेंट वाला पर्सन है तो उसको सिर्फ ऐड का शो होगा, ठीक है? मतलब जैसे अभी होता वैसे फंक्शनली वैसे ही वर्क कर रहा है, बट परमिशन जो लिस्ट है वो सब मिक्सअप है,
Huh? We'll see, no?
तो उस लिस्ट को फिगर आउट कर सकते हैं।
We have to make some sense out of this. We'll have to give only 3 types of permission. First, we need to have permission groups, and then permission group के अंदर what will be the permissions which are there. Like we have come up with this thing, but it is not very clear. We should probably have something like editorial permissions, ad management permissions,
हाँ,
SEO
उसको
permissions,
ऐसे
like that.
जैसे जो लिस्ट है
हाँ.
उसको हम डिजाइन कर सकते हैं, एडिटोरियल पर एडमिन डायरेक्ट
We have to club this. We'll see. Once we roll out, we'll start doing all these extra changes, small changes, which will add value. Anything else, guys?